The southeast is reeling from an unprecedented natural disaster. A string of deadly tornadoes tore through multiple states, leaving communities in shock and despair. The storms left a trail of devastation in their wake, with entire neighborhoods reduced to rubble. Homes are gone, businesses shattered, and lives lost. The scale of destruction is hard to comprehend. The storms hit on March 15th and 16th, 2025, catching many off guard. They impacted 6 states: Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, each suffering significant damage. The tornadoes were part of a larger severe weather system that wreaked havoc across the region. This system also brought dust storms, wildfires, and flash flooding, compounding the disaster. The storm's impact is widespread, affecting both urban and rural areas alike. The National Weather Service issued numerous warnings in an attempt to save lives. These included tornado watches and flash flood warnings, urging residents to take immediate action. Despite the warnings, the storms caused significant damage, overwhelming emergency responders. The southeast is facing a long road to recovery, with communities banding together to rebuild. The physical damage is extensive, with infrastructure in ruins and countless buildings collapsed. The emotional toll is immeasurable as families grieve their losses and support one another. Yet, amidst the destruction, stories of resilience are emerging. Communities are coming together, showing incredible strength. They are supporting each other, sharing resources, and offering comfort in these trying times. The process of rebuilding has begun, with efforts to restore homes and businesses already underway. The road ahead is long, but the spirit of the southeast remains unbroken. The tornado's impact is measured in lives lost and forever altered. At least 34 people died. Many more were injured. The states hit hardest were Missouri, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Missouri suffered the most fatalities, with 12 confirmed deaths. One town in particular was devastated: Butler County. Over 500 homes were destroyed. A church and a grocery store were reduced to rubble. A mobile home park was completely obliterated. Mississippi reported 6 deaths. 29 people suffered injuries. The state is still reeling from the impact. Search and rescue teams are working tirelessly. They are searching for survivors amidst the debris. Arkansas confirmed 3 deaths. They also reported 29 injuries. The storms left many communities in ruins. Hospitals struggled to cope with the influx of injured people. The tornadoes left a path of destruction that stretches for miles. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, and the landscape is almost unrecognizable. The sheer force of the winds uprooted trees, flipped cars, and tore apart buildings, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. Homes are now piles of splintered wood and twisted metal. Businesses are unrecognizable. What were once thriving local shops and community centers are now heaps of debris. The loss is not just physical, but emotional, as families and business owners come to terms with the destruction of their livelihoods. Fields that were once green are now scarred with debris. Farmland, which is the backbone of these communities, has been severely impacted. Crops have been destroyed, and the soil is littered with remnants of homes and buildings, making it difficult for farmers to start anew. The physical damage is staggering. Early estimates suggest billions of dollars in damages. The financial burden on these communities is immense, and the road to recovery will be long and challenging. Federal and state aid will be crucial in helping these areas rebuild. The cost of rebuilding will be immense. It will take years for these communities to fully recover. Rebuilding homes, businesses, and infrastructure will require not only financial resources, but also time, effort, and resilience from the affected residents. The storms also crippled infrastructure. Power lines are down. Roads are impassable. Communication networks have been disrupted, making it difficult for people to contact loved ones and for emergency services to coordinate their efforts. This complicates rescue efforts and hinders access to essential services. Over 250,000 properties across 7 states are without power. Emergency services are working tirelessly to restore power and clear roads, but the scale of the damage means it will take time. The long road to recovery has begun. Insurance adjusters are assessing the damage. They play a crucial role in helping homeowners and businesses receive the compensation they need to rebuild. However, the process is slow, and many are left waiting for assistance. Construction crews are clearing debris. The process will be long and arduous. Heavy machinery is being used to remove fallen trees and wreckage, but the sheer volume of debris means that it will be a painstakingly slow process. But the spirit of these communities remains strong. Neighbors are helping each other, and volunteers are distributing supplies. The resilience and solidarity of the people are evident as they come together to support one another and begin the long journey of rebuilding their lives. Tornadoes, while terrifying, are a result of specific atmospheric conditions. Warm, moist air collides with cold, dry air. This creates instability in the atmosphere. As the warm air rises, it can begin to rotate. If the rotation becomes strong enough, a tornado forms. The southeast experienced a perfect storm of these conditions. A strong cold front moved in from the west. This collided with warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico. The result was a volatile, atmospheric cocktail that spawned these deadly twisters. Tornadoes can form and strike with alarming speed. This makes them particularly dangerous. They can pack winds of over 200 miles per hour. They can level entire neighborhoods in minutes. This underscores the importance of heeding weather warnings. Section 5. A region under threat. Why Tornado Alley lives up to its name. The region hit by these devastating tornadoes is known as Tornado Alley. This area of the United States, spanning from Texas to South Dakota, is particularly prone to tornadoes. Its geography and climate make it a breeding ground for these deadly storms. Tornado Alley's flat plains allow for the unobstructed collision of warm and cold air masses. This is the perfect recipe for tornadoes. The region also experiences frequent thunderstorms, which often serve as the precursors to tornadoes. This recent outbreak is a stark reminder of the ever-present threat tornadoes pose to Tornado Alley. While scientists have made strides in predicting these storms, their erratic nature makes them difficult to anticipate with complete accuracy. Section 6. Voices from the ground. Eyewitness accounts of terror and survival. The true horror of the tornadoes is best conveyed through the voices of those who lived through it. Their first-hand accounts provide a raw and unfiltered look into the chaos and fear that gripped their lives. These stories are not just about the physical destruction, but also about the emotional and psychological toll that such a disaster can take on individuals and communities. Alicia Wilson, a resident of Missouri, described the tornado as the scariest thing I've ever been through. She vividly remembers the sound of the wind howling like a freight train, the walls shaking, and the feeling of utter helplessness. Alicia's voice trembles as she recounts how she and her family huddled together in their basement, praying for the storm to pass. She huddled in her basement with her family as the storm raged above. The minutes felt like hours, and every creak and groan of the house above them sent waves of fear through their hearts. Alicia's story is a poignant reminder of the vulnerability we all share in the face of nature's fury. Another survivor, John Miller from Arkansas, recalled the deafening roar of the wind. He described it as a sound he will never forget, a constant, unrelenting noise that drowned out everything else. John watched in disbelief as his neighbor's house was ripped from its foundation, a sight that seemed almost surreal in its intensity. He watched in disbelief as his neighbor's house was ripped from its foundation. The sheer power of the tornado was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. John said, "It was like something out of a nightmare, a scene that you would expect to see in a movie, not in real life." He said it was like something out of a nightmare. The destruction was so complete, so absolute, that it was hard to comprehend. These stories paint a harrowing picture of the terror and chaos that ensued as the tornadoes touched down. They are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable destruction. These stories paint a harrowing picture of the terror and chaos that ensued as the tornadoes touched down. The survivors' accounts highlight not only the immediate impact of the storm but also the long-term effects on their lives. The fear, the loss, and the uncertainty that followed in the wake of the tornadoes are experiences that will stay with them forever. They are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable destruction. Despite the overwhelming odds, these individuals and communities have shown incredible strength and determination. Their stories of survival and rebuilding serve as an inspiration to us all, reminding us of the power of hope and the human capacity to overcome even the most devastating challenges. Section 7. A race against time, emergency response, and ongoing weather warnings. As the storm subsided, a massive emergency response effort swung into action. First responders, including firefighters, police officers, and paramedics, worked tirelessly to locate survivors and provide medical attention to the injured. The National Guard was deployed to assist with search and rescue efforts and to maintain order in the devastated areas. Hospitals, overwhelmed with the influx of casualties, worked around the clock to treat the injured. The National Weather Service continued to issue warnings. They cautioned that the threat of severe weather was not over. Flash flood warnings were in effect for several states. The risk of additional tornadoes remained. This kept residents on high alert. Section 8. Picking up the pieces communities band together in the face of tragedy. In the aftermath of the disaster, a remarkable spirit of community and resilience emerged. Neighbors helped neighbors, strangers reached out to offer aid and comfort. Donation centers overflowed with supplies for those who had lost everything. Volunteers from across the country poured into the affected areas. They brought with them food, water, clothing, and tools to assist in the cleanup effort. The outpouring of support provided a glimmer of hope amidst the devastation. The storms may have ripped through their towns and cities, but they could not break the spirit of these communities. The long and arduous task of rebuilding had begun, fueled by a collective determination to overcome this tragedy. Section 9. The long road ahead, rebuilding lives and finding hope amidst the ruins. The tornadoes left behind a trail of heartbreak and destruction, forever altering the lives of countless people. The physical scars will take years to heal, but the emotional toll will likely linger even longer. As communities begin the long and arduous process of rebuilding, they will need continued support. The road ahead will be challenging, but the resilience and compassion demonstrated in the face of this tragedy offer a glimmer of hope for the future. The human spirit has a remarkable ability to overcome adversity. The communities affected by these tornadoes will rebuild, stronger than before, bound together by their shared experience and their unwavering determination to move forward.